about Ohio. That's right. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Now, we talked about an American artist. Do you remember the first American artist that we talked about? His name was Jackson Pollock, and we talked about abstract art. And he made art that made you feel a certain way or think a certain way, right? He wasn't exactly trying to make things look just like an apple if he's drawing an apple or somebody's face. This is another artist who is an American artist. She is from the United States of America. Her name is Georgia O'Keeffe. Kathleen is going to read sometime this book during second line about her life. I like to think of her as somebody who looked at the world and at things a little differently. So when she looked at flowers, you know, sometimes people when they want to paint flowers, so if I'm looking at that green plant over there, let's pretend it had red flowers, so I can draw it. She did it. She almost took a magnifying glass and she would like almost dissect the flower and look inside. And you'd be like, what is she looking at? So it's called perspective. It's the way she looked at things. See how closely she drew or painted, this flower? She's almost like her eye is a camera and she zoomed, right? If you have a camera, you would use a zoom. But she did that with her eyes. It's like she's focused on the middle of the flower, right? This is a painting of a shell. Look how almost like very close detail, right? So this painting is 22 by 28 inches. That's way bigger than the shell. This is a very famous painting of her with the ladder. And the fact that she isolated the ladder and the background color. Do you guys see the moon? Again, look at this flower. Do you think she zoomed her camera, her eyes in, or did she zoom her eyes out, away? She zoomed into the flower, right? And this is a lake with a reflection. But honestly, it can be interpreted a lot of different ways. So that's what she was playing with. She was playing with perspective, because if we look too close, sometimes things look like something else if you look at them differently. So Kathleen is going to read the whole book about where she lived, and I just want to focus on the artwork that we are going to do. This is what it looks like when it's done, and the inspiration was actually this postcard or this painting. We tried to create that. Okay, so what you need is glue. So the center is black, and what you do, you take one of those squares, just one, and you crumble it. More glue, you crumble it. And then the petals are red. So one square at a time. crumble it. I'm not going to make the two flowers fully. I just wanted to show you how to do it. We use glue, we use tissue paper, and I think that gluing the circles, like putting the glue on the circles, see the page has circles? So I put my glue on the circles. I don't try to put my glue on the tissue paper. It doesn't really stick, right? So put your glue on the circles and then take the tissue paper, crumble it, and put it on, okay? When your work is done, it probably can go in your folder unless you feel like it's sticky. And please make sure that your name is on your work. So this is the Georgia O'Keeffe art. Thank you, because the next work is